Hi guys, welcome to another Spooky Friday. So today is the last Spooky Friday of the month. I will do them next year, hopefully. But I hope you guys liked it so far. Today I'm gonna do a more traditional look. I'm gonna go back to my traditions, my heritage. I'm gonna do a Dia de los Muertos look. I hope you guys like it. Okay guys, so first we're going to start with the Becca Ever Matte Poreless Primer. We're going to put that all over my face and then spread it in with my hands. After that, I'm going to go in with the Kat Von D Lock It Foundation. This is the foundation I always go for when I want full coverage. I'm gonna put that all over my face and then I'm gonna start blending it in with my brush. Make sure to blend everything in so it looks seamless. After that, I'm gonna go in with the Tarte Creaseless Concealer and I'm gonna put that under my eyes, my nose, my Cupid's bow, and my forehead, as well as my chin. After I have that put down, I'm gonna use a smaller blending brush and I'm just gonna blend it all in with my foundation. After that, I'm going to go in with my Lock It translucent powder from Kat Von D and I'm going to pack that all onto my face. For this look, I did want to bake just so my paints that I'm going to use on top won't move or budge. Once I have that powder down, I'm going to go in and do one of my eyebrows. Your left, my right. This is going to be the side that I'm going to do glam makeup, and then on the other side I'm going to do the Dia de los Muertos design. After I have my eyebrow as pigmented as possible and I have that product set in, I'm just going to blend it all in with a spoolie brush. After it's blended in, I'm just going to clean it up with the same creaseless concealer from Tarte. Using a small flat brush, I'm just going to sharpen my eyebrows a little bit, clean them up. After that, my eyebrows are all done. Now I'm going to go in with my Paint Chili Paint Pot from MAC and I'm going to prime my eyelids for the eyeshadows that I'm about to put down. So I'm going to go in with the Mulan palette from ColourPop. I'm going to go into Color Fighter, which is just going to be the transition shade. I'm going to pack that all on my whole lid. Once that is set, I'm going to go in with the color Strength, more of a brownish reddish, and I'm going to start blending that into my crease, flaring it out at the ends just so it makes my eyes to appear bigger. I have that color set, I'm going to go in with the color Guiding Spirit from the same palette and I'm going to top the color Strength with it using a more tapered blending brush. I'm trying to make sure to blend those colors very well together, making sure to follow that same guideline that I did flaring out at the end. Once that is blended in, I'm going to go in with the color True from the same palette. It is a more darker brown. I'm going to use that to deepen even more my crease. I am going to do a cut crease today, so I want my eyeshadows to look very sharp and dark. To blend that in, but leaving all three colors on their own. That way it has a nice gradient effect. And now I'm going to go in with the same concealer and I'm going to start cutting out my cut crease. I'm going to dab on some of the product and then I'm going to use a flat brush to start lining it slowly. That way I don't mess up my line. I have that cut crease where I want it. I'm going to put in the color Undefeated. It's a nice red with some shimmer to it. With a flat brush, I'm just going to start packing that on top of my concealer that I just put down. Packing in the color is really going to make it stand out more, and it's going to give you more of a clean look. Once I'm done with my cut crease, I'm going to pack on some liquid glitter on top. It's a nice gold. And I'm just going to dab a little dot on top and then blend it in with my ring finger. Slowly tapping it in, making sure not to drag it because then your cut crease might get messed up. After that halo effect is done, I am just going in with the residue of my concealer and I'm cleaning up the edges just so it looks really sharp at the end of my eyeshadows. Once that is done, I'm just going to wipe away the translucent powder that I set down. After that's wiped away, I'm going to start putting eyeshadows on the bottom of my lid. I'm going to go in with that same red Undefeated and I'm just going to drag it with a small blending brush at the bottom of my eye. With a bigger clean blending brush, I'm just going to start feathering it out. That way it's not such a harsh line on the bottom. Once that is done, I'm going with my ColourPop eyeliner in color black. I'm just going to make a very sharp wing. I went for a very dramatic and long wing today. Once that wing is done, I'm going to start using my CCBeauty paint palette. And I'm going to start putting white dots on the side of my eye where my wing is and a line right under my eyebrow. This is the glam side, but I just want everything to look very cohesive and like it all comes together at the end. After I'm done painting those lines and dots, I'm going to go in with my mascara and I'm just going to coat my top lashes and then I'm going to put my falsies on. I'm going in with the Iconic in number 01. And that is my glam eye done. Now I'm going to go in with my Kat Von D Shade to Light palette and I'm going to contour my face. But this time I want to look really hollow in my cheeks and in my forehead. So I'm going to go in with a dark color and really press it in instead of feathering it out. I want it to look really dark and give me that contrast just so it looks more like a skeleton. Once I'm done with both blending in my forehead and cheeks, I'm going to go in with that same dark color and contour my nose. I want it to look very angular and where I put the contour. Once I have the nose done, that is it for the contour. Then I'm going to go in with my blush from Tarte in Fiesty. It's a nice bright pink. And I'm just going to press that into my cheeks. I want this blush to be pretty noticeable just because that's how the skull makeup should be looking like. It should be more bright colors and very painting like. Once my cheeks are done, that is it for the face. Now I'm going to go in with my CCBeauty paint palette again. And this is the fun part. This is where I'm going to do the hollowed eye, that way it looks like a skull candy. I'm gonna start off using black, and I'm gonna use a small tapered painting brush, and I'm just gonna draw the outline of the circle around my eye using small strokes, that way I don't mess up the circle. It's better to take your time with this, or else your whole makeup will be messed up. Once I have that initial circle, I'm gonna get a bigger painting brush, and I'm gonna get that same black and fill in my whole circle with it on top of my eyelid, my bottom eyelid, just fill it all in. Once again, make sure to take your time with this, just so you don't mess up and get out of the initial line that you made. Once that circle is filled in, I'm gonna start making the little petals around my eye with that same black, and I'm gonna go in with a small tapered brush again. This part is totally up to you if you want to make the petals a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller. I do like them a little bit bigger just because I'm gonna color them in. Okay, once I have those petals down, I'm gonna go in with the color red from the CCBeauty palette, and I'm gonna start filling it in, making little circles inside the petals. I'm gonna skip every other petal and just paint every other one red. Just slowly dabbing in the red, that way it doesn't mess up any of the black lines that I already made. After that, I'm gonna get my eyelash glue and then outline my eyelid with it and then fill that in. Once that glue is a little dried down and tacky, I'm gonna go in with the NYX glitter in gold, and I'm gonna start packing that in with a little packing brush. This is a loose glitter, that's why I need the eyelash glue to stick it on there. Works perfectly fine. Once the glue is dried down and the glitter's on top, you don't even feel the tackiness. I wanted this line to be very sharp, so I'm just following the same line that I made with the glue, making sure not to leave that line. Once that glitter is set in place, I'm gonna go in with my other eyelash and just pop that on top. And that is both eyes done. After that, I'm gonna start painting my face with all three colors, and I'm gonna use the white, the red, and the black just to make those lines that the candy skulls have. It's just a design on top to make it look very pretty. This technique, you can do whatever you want with it. I like making little swirls with the black on my cheeks first, and also putting little dots with the black on top of my glam eyebrow. Once I got both cheeks done, I'm gonna go start doing the hollow of my nose, just so it looks even more like a skull. Making a little U at the bottom of my nose and then flaring it out into two little points and then filling it in. Once the nose is filled in, I'm gonna put two small dots on each cheek at the bottom of that black swirly line that I made. Once that is done, I'm gonna go in and do my chin with the same red, and I'm gonna start making the petals for the rose that I want to make at the bottom of my chin. And the easiest way to explain it is just to make 3 little small V's and then fill it in. If you use small slow strokes, it's a lot easier to paint on this flower. After those lines are set, I'm just gonna fill it in all in red. done, I'm going to go in with the black and outline it just so it stands out even more. Once I'm done outlining it with the black, I'm going to go in with that white and make highlights around the flower. Once I'm done with those highlights on the flower, I'm going to go into my cheeks with that same white and do highlights under the black swirly lines that I put on my cheeks. And once I'm done with those lines, I'm just going to start putting little dots all over my face with all the different colors, with the black and with the white, just so it gives it more dimension and it looks more like a painting. I decided to go in with that same black and do another swirl on my forehead on the glam side, then adding little white dots on top of that line. After that, I'm doing the center of my forehead. I'm going to do a little flower-like painting. I'm going to put a red dot in the center of my two eyebrows, smaller white dot under that. Then I'm going to do the two little petals on top of that red dot that I made, just so it looks more cohesive with everything on my face. After I do those two little petals, I go in with that same red and do another dot on top of that, and then another white dot on top of that. You can really use just your imagination for this. This is wherever you want to put the dots, wherever you want to put the swirls. However your face is shaped, that's how you want it to look. Okay, and that is it for the face paint. Now I'm going to go into my lips just to pull the whole look together. I'm going to go in with a red lipstick by ColourPop. I made sure that it was a matte liquid lipstick just so it doesn't smear once I put the stitches on my lips. Just following the natural line of my lips, I just fill them all in with the red. And once that lipstick is dried down, I start making the black lines with the black paint from the CCBeauty palette. Start making two small lines on the corners of my mouth, and then I'm gonna start doing the stitches on top of that. Just using small strokes, that way I don't mess up the lines. I want the stitches to look very straight. And once those stitches are done, I am done with the look. Okay guys, so this is the final look. I hope you guys liked it. I think this was one of the hardest ones and most fun that I did. Spooky Fridays was a lot of fun to do with you guys. I hope you guys are here for it next year. If you did like it, please comment, like, and subscribe down below. And if you recreate it, please tag me in it in my social media. Alright, until next time. Bye!